Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
I'm glad you see that because it doesn't show me.
It doesn't?
Oh, okay, yes, there it is. So I hope that we get to see comments.
Okay, we're live. Yay!
So this is our first time doing it live like this on Zoom. So we're using Zoom. So I'm Talia and this is Amanda. We're quarantined to our own personal homes instead of our usual Tidbit Tuesday, which is at usually Amanda's house.
We're usually together.
Down the street, so it's not bad at all. But so we're doing Tidbit Tuesday like this. Right now, I can't see any comments. Let me see if I can open on my phone.
Oh, Ashley commented.
Can you see it?
Ashley's here. Hi, Ashley.
Where do you see it?
I'm on Green Life Oilers on my computer too.
You're us. So you have that open. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, you guys. Oh, good. John's with us too. Okay, so I'll just.
Hi, John.
Okay, bear with us, you guys. Thank you. It's new. Everybody's learning new technology these days. So, yay!
Hi, Gretchen. Yay!
Okay, so we wanted to talk about promotion versus prevention of dis-ease. And so dis-ease is the opposite of ease. It's the opposite of comfortable and healthy and feeling well and good. So dis being the opposite of that, right? Not necessarily dis-ease as in a diagnosis or a title of some sort, but dis-ease being not, basically meaning not healthy.
So kind of out of balance, basically. Yeah. So like you're not in homeostasis, right? So we're like disproportionately on the other side than you are on the good side.
Yes. So promotion versus prevention. And this all started because I was talking to one of our members and we were talking, I think I'd sent her some fun diffuser recipes and she said, oh, those oils sound so good, but right now I'm really focused on prevention because of our current circumstances, being that it's April 2020. But I replied with, which I totally understood where she was coming from and what she's saying. And yes, my orders are also reflecting a different life circumstance right now as well. But what I responded to her with was everything you order from Young Living is prevention. And that's what we really want to talk about tonight. That's what we want to get into, and more than Young Living as in the lifestyle. So when we say Young Living products, things that you can get out of the catalog for sure. But when we talk about Young Living as a lifestyle, we're talking about the whole wellness package and mindset and wellness and all the things. So that's what we want to just kind of balance out. We don't have a lot of products to show you tonight or anything like that. We just want to really put it on the platform because as the picture that I put for tonight, the prevention versus promotion, it's that balance scale, right? The weigh scale. And that's really what we have to always constantly be checking in with. Our life ebbs and flows. We have stressful months or weeks or days. We have easy, relaxing, weekends, months, days, whatever. What we always have to be doing is just kind of seeing where that scale is. And when the scale is off balance, like Amanda said, that's when the dis-ease kicks in. So we really want to be checking that on a regular basis. Prior to this current pandemic situation, I don't really know what to call it quite yet, the thing we're dealing with, prior to all of this prior to the shit hitting the fan, prior to all of this happening, your scale was probably very different. You had a lot more balance with your wellness activities and your promotion of dis-ease activities and things that you did, right? So what we have to really look at and check in on a regular basis is, well, okay, so now what's happening in my life? Now what's happening around me and in the health world around me? So all of our scales have gone like this. And so we really need to stop and just check again and see where we're at and bring ourselves back into balance. So
I think that's on it really quick. I think that's the biggest thing is that for me, for the last 5 years of this, it hasn't really been a super conscious, like, I have to really think about it because I just know what I do all the time and it just keeps me in balance. It keeps me in check. And I think with what's happening now is there's so much of the promotion side of it that's kind of weighing heavy that I need to really check myself and really think about balancing it up with those prevention, right? So it's more on my mind now. I have to really think about, okay, so I can't do this activity. So now I need to really be conscious and aware of how I'm feeling, what I've been drinking to, we'll talk about all this stuff, but it hasn't been so much on my mind prior to this because it's just a way of life for me now. But when things get unbalanced and you can't do the things that you're normally routine in the process of doing, even just something simple as your shipping is a little bit longer. So I'm having to wait a little bit longer than I would usually have to wait for all of my prevention stuff, So it's that kind of thing. So you have to be a little more cognizant right now. And if you're just starting out in this journey, it already may be on your mind so much already because you're trying to learn and you're diving deep into like, oh, okay, let me learn about how these oils, even just the basic starter kit, are prevention, right? And so if you're just starting, it may seem like, oh, this is all so new to me and it's a lot. But for us, since we've been in it for so long, it's just been a lifestyle for me. And so, but now I'm really having to like be consciously aware of the different things. Like when I first started, it's so funny.
Yes, that's so true. So, I mean, yeah, for 5 years in for both of us, like it has been such a part of our lifestyle. This wellness and prevention of disease has been such a part of our lifestyle. And stress levels, you and I both have had our stress levels personally come up and down. But for me, especially right now, I haven't had this level of stress in many years. So it's really thrown me off. And I think that's why this conversation is so important, because it's a good like pause and check for everybody to just come in and say and listen, I even have it on paper and just really look through everything and get that perspective to say, well, what are the good things that I'm doing for myself and what are the counterproductive? So we're talking about the prevention stuff, right? Prevention, and then the promotion, meaning promotion or of disease. So the bad, the good and the bad. So we just have a list that we're going to go through and, take a moment and maybe write this stuff down but really, really think about it and look at yourself and to think about your prevention and your promotion of disease and consider where you're at. Each area, you might be a little bit different. There might be a weakness for you, or, because of stress levels, you may have turned to something or ignored something. So just take this next 20 minutes and figure out where you are and make the intention, go forward with this information and say, I need to set the intention. I'm setting the intention to change this up or do this a little bit less or do this a little bit more, whatever it is for you. And taking on, if you have a lot, if your list is a lot, write them down, but try to only take on what is going to be reasonable for you right now, and making sure that you have the tools, the resources, and the support to implement them successfully, because they can, of course, backfire and make things more damaging. So tools, resources, and support when you're implementing or changing things in your life are going to be really important. So okay, so the first thing we put on our list is part of the things, let me back up for a second. A lot of the stuff that Amanda and I talk about, and all of these things that we do talk about, where we have for sure a Tidbit Tuesday that goes into more detail on each of these subjects. So you can easily probably do a search and find one of the Tidbit Tuesdays or a class or information that we've talked in more depth about each of these things. Yeah. So this is more of a summary. So one of the promotion of disease things that we do in our life is alcohol, sugar, and coffee in excess amounts. So what we need to think about is we need to just stop and check, where am I at on my scale of, you know, how much my these are items, these are things on the list of the promotion of disease side: alcohol, sugar, and coffee. So what choices are you making around that and within that to keep that in balance?
Christina, we're all guilty, sister. We're all guilty. It's just what we choose to recognize and go, okay, right now is not the time to promote dis-ease. So there are other times in your life when promoting dis-ease a little bit more is actually going to be okay. But right now is why we kind of wanted to talk about this, because we're all guilty of it. And so that's why we're even talking to ourselves. Like, we need to be consciously aware of what we are promoting, right? So girl, we're all the same. So alcohol, sugar in excess, obviously. Like, I see all these memes going around, like something about like kids being schooled by day drinkers and stuff. It's so funny, but it's obviously we're not day drinkers if we went to work every day, like, you know, but it still is funny because in stress, people do turn to those vices, right? It is a coping mechanism. It is a stressful time. And so we do turn to things that are dis-ease promoting.
Right. And so it's important to, again, we're looking at this scale and not only each individual thing, but think about, well, not alcohol versus another beverage, but like alcohol, if alcohol is on your disease side, if that's something that you put on, just notice, just all you're doing right now is noting, okay, that is something I have been drinking. Maybe you're like, oh, I used to always have a glass of wine every night and I still am. You know, that's not changing. It's still normal for me. But okay, so we're noticing that you have a glass of wine every night. But let's stop and think for a moment. And that's what we're doing tonight, is looking what else is on the scale now.
Right.
Because of the change in our circumstances that might tip that scale too much. And
it's
so
like drops in the bucket. Like, I feel like it drops in the bucket, right? You have this bucket and there's these drops. And at some point, the level is going to overflow because you're not used to putting so many drops in the bucket. You know, you're not used to having so much on the scale. So,
yeah. So we're both really excited about Young Living coming out with new teas.
Well, that's in the prevention side. Oh yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yes.
Yeah. So things you can do is increase your water intake, your healthy water intake, right? So filtered water, even put some of those electrolytes in them, the flavorings in them that Young Living has. Kombucha, really good for your gut health. It does have caffeine in it, so, you know, you can half it or whatever. I just learned about that. My kids have been drinking kombuchas left and right, and I'm like, oh my God, there's so much caffeine in kombucha. Tea, Young Living just came out with tea, you guys. I'm so excited because I have given up coffee. I don't drink coffee anymore, and I'm super excited to start drinking the teas. I know they're going to be delicious and they're organic and they're not going to be bad for me. So, and then also with that comes the warm liquid. So warm liquids are really good for just supporting all of your systems in your body. So tea, kombucha, water. So maybe say like, keep track of your water, but then if you want to have like a glass of wine at night and you're not usually used to that, like see how much water you have and just kind of balance it out, you know?
Yeah. Do you guys, and does somebody comment and tell us if you know how much water you're supposed to be drinking every single day?
Oh yeah.
We need to be checking in on, because again, schedules have changed, routines have changed. you need to stop and check and see, am I still drinking the amount of water that my body needs? Because like normally I always had my water bottle with me. And so I'd go out and about and I'd know, okay, I need to drink, I don't know how, three of my water bottles a day. And I'm not leaving the house. So I haven't been taking my water bottle out. So I need to find a different way of monitoring my water now. And that's what this is about, is it's the opportunity to say, oh yeah, this has changed for me. You know, is it on the prevention or promotion side, and what do I need to do about it? So yeah, adding in your essential oils to your water, adding in the electrolytes. What is it called? The
Vitality drops.
Vitality drops that are so delicious. And trying out the sleek tea that's delicious, right, John? And half your body weight. Good job, Gretchen. She got it. Half your body weight in ounces every single day. So if you weigh 150 pounds, you need 75 ounces of water a day. Okay, that's just to keep your body hydrated. Not like if you're also exercising or anything like that. That's just
set an alarm. John just said set an alarm on your smartphone. That's a great idea. Hold yourself accountable. Yeah. So the next promotion one is.
Yeah. So the next promotion is well, sugar. We wrote it down twice because that's how bad it is.
Right. Processed foods and sugar.
Processed foods and sugar.
Well, if you think about it, so if people aren't used to being home, right? So they're used to being away at work and busy. Boredom leads to overeating because you're not hungry, but you're bored, right? So you're out of your routine. You're used to just being fast paced, maybe at work, and you're just bored, right? So you go to the cupboard, you go to the cupboard. Try switching that and going to the refrigerator, right? Go to the fridge, get something fresh, get something that you have to prepare. If you're not that hungry, you probably won't go for that because you're not going to want to do that, right? So we talked about, you know, instead of the processed food and the sugar, like we mentioned a couple of times here, fresh foods, get your Ningxia in, get your supplements, go to the farmer's market. You know, if you have a CSA, use your CSA, really bulk up on those. I know a lot of people are nervous to go to the grocery store, but do whatever you need to do to protect yourself that you feel was right for yourself. I mean, we go to the grocery store every week. That's just how we eat. That's how we live. I am not personally willing to change that. I eat lots of fresh fruit and vegetables and food that I need to prepare that I can't stockpile in my fridge because it only holds so much, you know? Yeah. So that's one thing that I'm not willing to budge on, right? So if you feel like your promotion items, i.e. the processed food, the going into the pantry every day, notice that. Just be aware. Notice it and maybe go, you know what? I'm not hungry right now and I don't need that. I'm going to go drink some water or have a kombucha or make a hot tea, you know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and Vivian's sharing that her sugar cravings stopped when she became more consistent with her supplements. And that's the biggest thing. Like, that's one of the reasons why I totally crashed, is not having my normal routine. I wasn't taking my supplements on a regular basis. Yeah. And then my body fell apart, my emotions fell apart, and I was a wreck. And it wasn't until I started taking supplements on a regular basis again. And then today, I had been feeling so good the past couple of days. So today I was like, oh, you know, maybe I can skip today. And afternoon, I started feeling depressed. I started feeling sluggish. I started feeling all my negative things again because I was not remembering. I was just focused on like, oh, I'm feeling good right now, so I'm cool. But all this extra stress that we have going on, and that's what I mean by this, is I've forgotten, oh yeah, that's on my promotion of disease side of things, is this massive stressful situation we're living under right now. Right. And so I was like, oh, I'm feeling, no, Talia, actually you have to take your supplements right now. You have to do all the things right now because you have this massive weight sitting on the promotion of disease side, and that is this stressful, scary situation that we have going on in our world. So,
and Jasmine mentioned dates. I love Medjool, I think that's how you say it, dates and fresh fruit. I definitely will go to those to, like, I'll put some almond butter inside the dates. They're so delicious. So yes, dates and fresh fruit help with your sweet tooth cravings. I totally agree. We love dates in this house, and fresh fruit always.
Yeah. And Ningxia Red has been really helpful for me to just like, if I'll put it with sparkling water or just, make it, I'll even put it in my wine, in a wine glass, my Ningxia Red in my wine glass with some sparkling water and fill that up. And that just kind of makes me feel a little more sophisticated or something too. But that helps me with sugar cravings because it has a little bit of sweetness to it, and it just like feeds your body so nicely. So I love that stuff.
Minerals. Vivian said minerals. Vivian, how often are you taking the mineral essence? Just curious. Let's go on. We're 8:50, so we have other things.
So staying up late, limiting your sleep, not sticking to your schedule. We can get lost in that right now. We were like, oh, schedule's out the window. Okay, cool. I'm going to stay up late. I'm going to watch all the TV. And then, and then you're just a mess. And so you have to find that rhythm. Your body, your mind needs that rhythm. It needs that schedule. So finding something that works for you, it can totally be different than what you had pre-quarantine, but find something that works for you. Go to bed at a regular time and get up at a regular time. You just change your schedule, right?
What?
You just change your schedule, like specifically for adrenal support, which is going to be one of our topics in a future.
Absolutely. Yes. I am going to bed by 10 and up at 8 every single day. Like, I have set an alarm. I'm going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time every single day. And for me, 8 o'clock works. That's just what works for our family. That's what works for my body. And so I'm trying to regulate my adrenals that way, along with a lot of other things. But yes.
And how great that we have this opportunity right now.
Right.
Kind of a clearing our schedule for most of us. We are kind of clearing our schedule and we can say what works for my body now, rather than I have to wake up early or something like that to get to work or school or whatever. Now you can say, maybe now is such a great time for you to offer your body more nutrition in the form of sleep and more rest in the, and give that to yourself right now. Like, this is a long weekend, very, very, very long weekend for lots of us. So change your schedule so that it works best for your body. And that's probably going to be different than other people in our household because we all need different sleep times. But honor that, like, give yourself that time. Maybe you might be making up for a lot of lost sleep in your life.
Well, not only that, but if you're off of your schedule and you're feeling funky, that could be why. Yeah. Like, if you had a very regimented schedule and now you don't, you could be feeling that effects of not having that schedule. You could feel like, I don't know, depressed and anxious, and that comes along with a lot of other things. But the next thing we're going to focus on is basically mindset and mental health, right?
Yeah, the fear. So when we're talking about that balance and we're talking about that scale, and what I was giving the example of is like, oh, I was feeling okay today, so I didn't take my supplements. No, we can't normalize this. We have to recognize the situation that we're living under. And, you can totally delve into it, and you can follow the news, and you can follow all of the negative people on Facebook, and you can, it's really, what do you want to see? And you will attract that. You will get that. So if you're just feeding and just eating all of the negativity that's out there, you're only going to get more of that. So you have to have that awareness to say, whoa, I am just like post after post or newscast after newscast, or whatever it is that you're doing, a person that you're talking to, or thoughts that you're thinking. Stop right now and recognize, where am I with the fear and versus love? Because those are the two main core emotions. Where am I on the scale of fear and love? And pay attention to that right now and say, do I need to start reinvesting myself more onto the love scale, and unfollow some people, stop talking to some people, stop watching the news, or limit the news, or limit what channels you get the news from, or read it instead of watching it, because that does very different things for your brain.
Right.
So your mindset directly impacts your health. I hope if you've been watching any of our videos, you know that by now. Like, just go back and watch some of the videos I just did in the past couple of weeks. The things that you say to yourself directly impact your health. And next Tuesday, we're going to talk all about stress and what that does physiologically to your system and your health. So we're really going to get into that topic next week. But
And it's not good for you.
It's not good for you.
Stresses your immune system. Let's just go there, right?
On the promotion of disease aspect of things.
Right.
I mean, you know that when you get stressed, you feel it in your body, right? You feel it. It hurts your
Absolutely.
shoulders, your stomach, you get a headache, all of those things. We have symptoms from stress. So what we have to remember is the massive amount that we're in and that we feel. And even though you might not be going about your day in the garden or doing some regular things, it's still there. So we have to really recognize that there's more on this end. So what do you need to do on the prevention side of things to help bring yourself back into balance? And there are some really great examples.
Oil up. Oil up. So what I find that's been really working for me is oiling up, talking about it. Even if you have this fear or you have something that's bothering you, to find somebody that you can just talk to, your husband, your spouse, your best friend, whatever. Let it out, talk about it, verbalize it, and then redirect your thoughts and think love and think, like John says, false evidence appearing real. Fear is a tough one because it takes over, and I feel it too. I get super anxious. I get heart palpitations. I know exactly what is wrong with me, and I just need to talk about it. I need to oil up like crazy and take my supplements, limit my screen time, limit who I'm talking to, limit who I'm watching on Instagram and Facebook, and just what I'm feeding my body. It's really focusing on conscious language is super important right now. And if you feel yourself that you can't get out of it, grab your oils, any of them. Yes. Just grab an oil, feel it, put it on your chest, put it on anything. I mean, I got frankincense and stress away before we started. Anything is going to work. Mm-hmm. Just put them on your body and see how you feel. Joy is a big one for me right now. I'm doing a lot of joy over my heart. I'm doing lots of stuff in the diffuser that's really uplifting and positive. So get that mindset right and don't feed into the fear mongering, fear-based stuff, because it's only going to be a detriment, and it's only going to load that promotion side up of your scale. It's only going to load it up that much more.
Mm-hmm. Okay. The other thing we want to talk about is maybe you were on the routine, you joined Young Living because you wanted to start switching out some things in your home, bringing in more of the prevention, bringing in more of the goodness into your life, finding some natural remedies, natural ways of caring for yourself. And, you know, again, one of the things, emotions is a big one that we talk about a lot, but another really huge thing that we talk about all the time is what are you doing in your home and to your body to weaken your body, right? And I talk about this all the time, is when you're putting harsh, harmful chemicals, toxins, synthetic ingredients. So this isn't like some, product that says, toxic on it. They're products that you buy at the everyday store that you're told are for making your skin look good, making you smell good, making you feel good, or cleaning your house and making your house smell good or whatever. Those are everyday products with really harsh ingredients for your body. Maybe they
link to all kinds of dis-ease.
Yes,
all kinds.
Right, and we talk about this. They basically keep your immune system in handcuffs. So, I don't know if you've already started switching out and realizing that Young Living has not only non-harsh chemical ingredients, like good naturally derived ingredients, but then also they have the essential oils in them. So then you're not only using some beautiful products on your face or your lotion or your armpits, or you're spraying your house with it, but it also has essential oils infused in it, which is then doing even more beneficial things for your body. But wherever you are on your path towards getting your home and your body clean and green in that sense, if this situation and this circumstance with impacting your job and your income and or the fear of that happening, we certainly have that in our home. I just want to encourage you to continue to prioritize your health, and that above all has been what's changed in our family, and I know Amanda's family as well. Like, our perspective of what we prioritize at home
Absolutely.
has fully changed to prioritize our health, and we're not going to compromise the way that we live at home as far as health goes, which includes our cleaning products, our personal care products, all of that stuff. Like, maybe we can do some more DIY face lotions with coconut oil instead of, you know, a beautiful sandalwood cream or something like that. But
this 40-year-old face with no makeup on, it really enjoys my Shir Lume and all my oils. Okay. And that's not going by the wayside.
Right. But I want to say, where if you need to compromise, like,
right.
Make sure you're not compromising on something that's going to add to your dis-ease. Like, really, really look at, if you're changing the products that you're buying at stores and bringing into your home, really look at what they do to your body. Turn them over, read the ingredients, read the warning, read the dangers of that product, and make sure you're continuing to prioritize your health, because all of those things are going to start weighing down on your dis-ease factor. And when I go to the store now and I see them wiping down everything with those wipes, and they're you know, they don't have gloves on, and they're breathing all of that stuff in, I'm like, oh my God, these.
Well, and that's but it makes me, I'm so glad I started this journey when I did, because I have faith in my products and my home. I know my home is clean, and I know that now that we're quarantined in our home, that I don't have bad air quality in my home, and I don't have chemicals radiating through the air in my home. Like, I know that we're safe in our home, and we don't have that disbalance, you know? So when I do go out and I'm like, they're like, I almost want to wear gloves just so I don't have to touch all that stuff. You know, I don't want to have to touch that chemical, because I know what that does when it goes into my body. You know, it could decrease my immune system enough to where I would catch something. And so I don't know, it's like this balance. Like, I didn't run out and buy those really harsh chemical wipes and start wiping down my everything with them. And it's just not in my nature.
Then you're wiping down the microbiome on your skin,
right?
Your protective layer. So if I have those wipes and then I go and I've just totally taken off my defenses from my skin. So I want to protect my skin and keep it healthy and flourishing by using natural based products. Okay, so inactivity. Inactivity, that was another thing that contributed to my body completely crashing. Was my schedule went out the window, self-care went out the window. I you know, gym was closed, all the things that I did to take care of myself. Then the weather changed, and so inactivity definitely added to my dis-ease scale. And it wasn't until actually my chiropractor was like, Celia, when did you go to the gym on a regular basis? And I was like, every day at noon. I went to the noon yoga class. She's like, okay, at noon, go to the gym, go into the other room, tell your kids to leave you alone, turn on a yoga video and do your thing. And so I started doing that, and it's so much more than physical, right? It's that self-care element. And I mean, yoga is spiritual and all that stuff too, but it's so much more than physical when you're taking care of yourself and you're having that time for yourself. And right now, with all of us being in the home with other people or by yourself or whatever your circumstance is, the same thing over and over and over again can make you crazy. So take that time out, find those opportunities, put those opportunities in to move your body.
Even if it's something as simple as going in your backyard, taking off your shoes and walking around in the grass, enjoying the grass, stretching outside, get some sun, fresh air, like move, take a walk every single day. Like we've been trying to, because the gym is not open and my husband is a gym rat. And so he's really like, he bought some kettlebells and he's been doing, workouts at home, but we've also been trying to go for a walk or a bike ride every single day. Because that's, our movement, like that's how we're take the kids with us. The kids get a ton of movement all day long because they're wanting to do recess all day. Like, no, you need to sit down and do a little bit of work, but you could have recess it a little bit, but they're so active. Go out there with your kids, or if you don't have kids, go out there with your dog. If you don't have a dog, go out there by yourself and, enjoy the sunshine and do something. Get away
from that does for your
get
body.
Some fresh air. Yeah.
Drinking your water.
Drink your water.
So TV and screen time, getting too much of that really does have a detriment to our bodies, your minds. Yeah, you may have noticed if you're starting to feel more like towards the end of the day, consider how much screen time you're getting, how much time you're staring at your phone, the television, your computer. Pay attention to that and recognize that really is wearing your body down.
100%.
Yeah, get some blue light blockers if that helps, and take them off for this.
I know, I have mine in the house. I should probably wear mine. Although I should just get off the computer and get off my phone for a little while, more. I have a timer on my phone, so it like cuts me off at a certain time. So that's
a good idea. Yeah, but so that's, again, what we're doing through this whole tidbit, which we need to wrap up, is paying attention to your scale, right? So alcohol is in here, sugar is in here, processed foods is in here, too much coffee, not caring for yourself, staying up late, not getting your sleep, fear, your negativity, your mindset, bringing in cheaper, less quality products that could then detriment your body, inactivity, TV, screen time. And then the last one we had on the list, which I'm sure you could add more to, but the one that we had was not meeting your social or physical contact needs. So really recognizing that that's reality for us right now, and what is that doing to you and your heart and who you are as a person. I'm an introvert, so it's not too bad for me, but like we're gonna have Thursday night, and every Thursday this month we're gonna have a Zoom like this private meeting, not live on Facebook, but a private Zoom meeting to just chat and hang out. So join us if you want to do that, but find ways to maybe schedule in phone call, or just pick up the phone and call somebody, but you can schedule in FaceTime, meetings with people. Our kids still have their play date with my mom, their grandma every week on a regular basis, and finding ways to meet those needs. But mainly, you're not going to meet all of your needs, but recognizing what that's doing to you in a negative way is really important, because you've got to honor that, and feel that, and send love to that, and find things that you can add on the prevention side to help counterbalance that, whatever that might be or look like. You have to get creative right now, but honoring that, it is really important that we don't just ignore and keep plowing through, but stop and say, wow, this is really hard.
Totally.
Yeah. So
all right, you guys, we hope that was really helpful for you, and that it kind of just made you think about your stuff as in a scale, and we had this little note here. I'm going to just close with this, is that this is also for prepping for the future. You guys, we don't know. We live in an environment, and we live with viruses and bacteria all the time. So we don't know if in the next 10 years, we're going to have another weird virus, pandemic, bacteria, something that comes around, right? So this is also just to prepare you for the future. So on a regular basis, think about your promotion, your dis-ease promotion versus prevention. And that's what we always talk about. We talk about that dis-ease really loves a host that is out of proportion, right? It really likes an unbalanced host. And it doesn't matter what virus or bacteria it is, it matters what the host is. So if you can be more balanced, you will have an easier time with things that come up later on. So it's not just for right now. We're talking about future health through difficult seasons.
Yeah. So thanks, you guys. Thanks for joining us. So next week, we're going to talk about stress. And then after that, adrenal support. And then the last Tuesday of this month, we're going to do like a Q&A. So just bring us your questions and we'll do our best.
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks,
okay.
guys.
Good night, everybody.